Hey everyone, how y'all doing today? So do you ever have problems with your internet? Seems like it's slow or hiccups or stuff like that? Well, there's a few steps you can try to rectify that issue. So yes, sometimes your internet seems like it just don't want to go anywhere. And you have high-speed internet, but it feels like low-speed internet. Well, here's some tips on some things you can try to fix that problem. First, what I would do is to restart my computer. Sometimes there's stuff in the computer going on and you don't know, and it's making your system just take a long time to load pages and stuff like that. Now, if after rebooting it and you're still having issues, the next thing I would try is try to run some type of malware, antivirus, anti-spyware program to get whatever is on my computer off that could slow down the internet also. If I have to try those two things, it still doesn't work, the next thing I would do is check maybe my Wi-Fi. Maybe my Wi-Fi is just not acting right. So therefore, I would go to the router and then reset it. Once the router comes back up, check my speed and I'm still having an issue. Well, now I want to move on to the modem. And most modem doesn't have a switch on it to turn it on and off. So what I would do is just unplug it from the wall and let it sit for about a minute or two and then plug it back in. And make sure you do the same thing with your router. Make sure you reset the router also, because once you turn off the modem, you want to turn off the router, and then when it's time for them to be turned back on, first you want to plug in your modem and let it come up all the way. So if there's light flashing on it like it's still booting up, let it completely finish what it's doing before you turn the router back on. Then after that, turn the router back on. Once the router is finished its process of booting up, check your internet speed and see if that fixed the problem. Now, one more thing you can try in between that is checking your cables. Cables go bad, so you might have to try swapping the cable. That's if you're using the Ethernet cable instead of your Wi-Fi. Now, after trying all of this stuff and stuff still not working like it should, the next thing you want to do is call your service provider, because they can try some troubleshooting tips and see if there's something going on with your modem or your service that's coming to your home. Now, I've run into a situation where after I tried everything I could try, they still had to send somebody out because, yes, they realized there was something going on with the line. And I know last time I had issue, they had to replace the line completely because that line was just totally dead. So sometimes you run into these issues, you might be trying to stream your Netflix or you're trying to go on a website and you realize it's taking a long time to load. Most of the time, the thing starts with the computer. So first thing I would do, like I said, is go through and do that actual check. And you might want to also reset your browser. In every browser, there's a part in it where you can go into the settings and reset your browser. So whatever your favorite browser is, there's always a reset button. It's in the settings. It's usually sometime in the advanced setting, but you can go in there and reset that browser and it will be like factory new again. But after you try everything that's internal, resetting and restarting and then cleaning out your browser and running an antivirus, and you still can't figure out what the issue is, like I said, it's time for you to call your service provider, because the problem is probably bigger than what you think. And it could be a bad circuit in your area. Nobody has reported yet, but you can also find out if that's the case, because I've ran into a situation like that where they had a bad circuit that was feeding the internet to the area, and they had to go to that silver box and replace a part. So all those little factors can mess with your internet speed, especially if you're going from top speed to low speed the next day. But there's one more factor that can actually affect your internet speed. Now, if you got one of them old computers that takes forever to do things, that can slow down your browsing speed too. So an upgrade to your computer might be needed. So I hope these tips help you with your internet situation so you can be up and running again. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. I want to thank you for taking the time for watching it. I look forward to see you next time. Have a good one.